If you have questions, you can ask on the chat. You can ask about everything. I'm here to ask everything you ask here today to us about WildLife or about Game Jam Plus in general. Okay, Luis, the stage is yours.
Thank you, Julia. Let me see if I can share my screen. And I want to show you guys some slides just to help me. Uh, let's see. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes, we can see.
Okay. Yes. So starting with myself first. Before I go into WildLife, I am Luiz Piccini. I'm the director of studio partnerships and publishing here at WildLife, and I've been in games since 2018. I started as a game designer and product manager. Then I became a game director. Had the chance to make my own game, my own idea from beginning to end. Launched it as well, and then I became the director of new games. And since November of last year, I'm the director of publishing, where my role is to help other people from other companies make, launch, and distribute their games. WildLife is a company that's been around for a while. We'll talk about it in a few minutes. But we have developed a pretty big organization in marketing and data science. So we thought it was a good moment right now to help studios that have good games, have good teams behind them, but don't have the either the capital or the knowledge to make marketing themselves, or don't want to. Some people just don't like dealing with marketing and prefer to have a publisher, and that's why we decided to start publishing games from other people in 2026. So moving on about WildLife. Just I think I only have one screen, so I'm seeing the presentation. I am not seeing the chat. If anyone has a question from chat that I should answer, someone please let me know. But yeah, WildLife is a company founded in 2011. We actually have 4.7 billion dollars already. This one's a bit old, I guess. I think maybe I'm showing the wrong one. 1 second. Sorry, technical problems. I was showing the wrong one. The, this is the updated one. Uh, yeah, that's correct. Now, $4.7 billion. We are aiming for the 5 billion soon. We have a bit over 500 employees around the globe. Most of us are here in Brazil, but we have people in the US, in Europe. I think we have some people in Asia as well, and some people are just like remote and working from wherever they want. And we have launched over 60 games in the past 15 years. Most of them were, of course, not that great, since that's the industry, that's how it works. You have to launch many games to find a few hits, but we did find many hits as well. So our main launches, I hope some of them will be recognizable by you. I hope some of you have played at least one of them. But we started with very simple game, just a concept, just to see if the company could launch something, ping pong. But then the actual first game that we launched and went well was Racing Penguins. Then we launched Bike Race in 2012. We launched many games between 2012 and 2014 until Sniper 3D was our biggest hit until then. Um, Sniper alone has around $1 billion. It's still going today, 12 years later. And after that, the company started focusing in making less games with higher quality instead of just releasing dozens of games and praying that some of them were good. And we had a pretty good uh, run there with 2015 to 2020. We launched at least one successful game every year. So we had Castle Crush, War Machines, Car by Number, Paint by Number, Zuba, Tennis Clash. This one was the one that I started working on. Sky Warriors, that's mine, the one that I said that I created. And then 2020, with the pandemic and with changes in the market of games, it started getting harder to make games scale. So we launched Suspects, Midas, ZFK Football, Puzzle Society, Time Blast, and none of those got so big as Zuba and Tennis. Midas is bigger than Sky Warriors. That was our biggest success so far. But the market's like pretty hard right now. I think if any of you have tried making a mobile game in the past few years, you probably noticed that. And why is that? So um, there are there are a few challenges here that we need to address when we launch a game. So there are more people trying to launch new games and putting a lot of money in marketing. So distributing games is getting harder. The cost of downloads is getting higher. This means that it takes longer for a game to pay back. So basically, if you launch a game today, even if it will make money, sometimes it takes 6 months, 9 months, or over 1 year for you to start seeing that money, and that makes it harder for small studios to go along in this. And the discoverability of games overall changed. I think the 5 years ago or 10 years ago, it was very common for people to just browse the Play Store and the App Store and try to find games that they liked or get recommendation for their friends. Today, that's not a reality anymore. People only download games that they see from ads or for influencers or from TikTok or something like. It's not organic anymore. All of that makes it very hard to launch new games. But still, we are trying and we want to do it internally because we believe that this is core to a game company. We can't just distribute games or just scale old games, and we need to keep making fresh games. So we have 7 teams working internally in different game genres. We are trying to get back to making things fast and testing them fast. So we try to get prototypes done in under 2 weeks. So we already say, oh, in 2 weeks we can say if this idea is good or not, if we should invest more in it or not. And with the part that comes back to me, we are partnering with studios to publish or incubate them. So publish is basically your game is ready, we help you with the marketing. Incubate is you don't have a game yet or you have one but it's not ready. So we partner up, we help you get this game done, like ready for market, and then we start marketing. And going back here, so our goal is to consistently launch games that can get to the top 100 grossing games. So if you get like the top 100 games in the world, we have in the past launched many games that got there. We have got the top 20 sometimes, and it's been a while since we do so. So that's what we want to do. And we think that the best idea, the first thing to do that is to have the best creative leaders, either internally or partnering with us with third-party studios. We also believe that iterative development is the best thing to get feedback as early as possible from real players and make the game better. We believe that small teams move faster and have more autonomy, and we believe that autonomy is very important. That's also something that we try to apply both internally and with our external partners. The vision of the game, the creation of the game, the art, the mechanics, this can't be top down coming from executives somewhere. It has to be a creation of the designer, of the director of the game. And that's it that I had to show. I want you to talk very briefly of the specific category. So part of the reason that we are sponsoring Game Jam Plus is also because we believe that this is a good way for new talents to come into contact with the game industry as a whole and with WildLife. And we would like to open our doors to you and let's say that, oh, we want to hire good people, we might want to publish your games, and we might want to help you develop the games, so maybe we publish it later. And the way that we found to do this, one of the ways, was to sponsor one category here at the Game Jam Plus. But of course, to make sense for us, it should be a game that we would like to launch. So we are focusing on games that are developed for mobile platforms, so Android, iOS. It should be an accessible game, easy to understand, easy to start playing, but with potential for playing for many years. And it has to be free to play. You can't do a premium game. And the best team will receive $1,000 we receive the possibility of publishing the game for WildLife or hiring of members of the team, and we can receive additional investment of up to $5,000 in marketing to spend the way that the team wants. That's different from us publishing the games. Just, oh, here are $5,000 for you to spend in marketing. Let's see how your game does. And I really hope that we find a very good team here, and even more. So if they're like the second best, the third best, the 10th best, like if we have 10 good games, 10 good teams, we will try to reach out and try to do something with the 10 best teams. But the cash prize money and the guarantee of discussing your game with us is only for the number one. And I think that's it. I talked a lot. I want to open up for questions now. Let's go back.
Can you see the chat, or you can, or
Yeah,
can you? I'm.
I can see it now. So, how would you qualify a successful game? Budget, time versus total download? So, that's actually a question that we discuss a lot internally. I think the one thing that we agreed so far is a successful game is a top 100 game. But for example, Midas Merge hasn't broken the top 100 yet, and we think it's successful. So it's also a function of how much money and how much time did we take to develop the game, and what was the return. So for example, Sky Warriors was a game that we made from beginning to end in 9 months, and it is success. It was successful. It was very easy to get back the money that we spent on development, and very fast to do so as well. So even if it's not the biggest game that we have, it was a worthwhile return. The other thing that we look a lot, especially in the beginning, is the time played from the users. That's the non-financial metric that we look. And basically, we think that this is a measure of how much fun we put out into the world. So, for example, in Tennis Clash, every day the combined hours of play for Tennis Clash add up to over 1 year of people playing tennis. I think that's amazing. Like there is 1 year of entertainment created every day by the team working on Tennis Clash. So those are the two main things that we look at: financial profit, of course, and the non-financial is how much time people are playing our games. And this can be a lot of people playing a little every day, or less people playing a lot every day. But so that's the way that we look at time. Is there any specific genre you guys tend to look forward nowadays? We are looking a lot into puzzles and puzzles and in general. So things that can be played like very short sessions, so 30 seconds, 1 minute, but like always something new. So the person has to keep thinking. It's not like just let's say it's not just a pastime that you don't have to think. You have to actually play the game. We like a lot multiplayer games. In the past, we have made most of our successful games are multiplayer, but I think that the market for that's getting harder and harder. We like action in general, arcades, things like that. The thing that we don't like that much, it's not a clear no from the beginning, but it's not. It's harder for us to get excited about are casino games. That this is the one that we don't like. That's not what we like to work with. The match three games, just because this space is like very crowded. There are a lot of very good match three games out there, so it's hard to make a new one. And 4X games, so games like Civilization or Last War, Winter Survival, because it's a very, very specific type of genre. It's very hard to market them. It's a very successful genre, but it's not the kind of thing that we know how to make succeed. And strategic farming game, is it something closer to Stardew Valley or closer to Civilization kind of game? Yeah, because yeah, if you can like give Manusia, if you can give more details on what the game is exactly, I would happily comment it. Closer to Farming Frenzy. Let's see. I'd have to think honestly. It's a genre that could work. Yeah, like when in doubt, we would try to see the game and try to see like if the game is fun to play. Like the first thing that we do when we are evaluating a game is always play the game and see if it feels like it could be a fun game. And then we start thinking about retention metrics and CPI and those kind of things. How does revenue share work with you? It depends a lot. It's something that we negotiate case by case, depending on how much support we give the game. So if we invest money in the game, if we put people from WildLife to work on the game before it launches, if we help with servers, like if we help with the game itself, the percentage would go higher for WildLife. If the game is like done, we just have to distribute, we don't put a lot of effort, then we take a lower percentage. But we always do profit share. So we take the total revenue of the game, we take out the costs of marketing, we take out any shared costs of engineering, so if there are servers, this kind of stuff, and then the remaining thing we split with the studio. And many times we do an advance because what I said, like it's very usual nowadays for the game to be technically profitable, but you only see the money after 6 months or after 1 year. And I think this is kind of unfair to the studio because you see like your game doing well and like rising the charts, getting revenue, but it doesn't make a profit yet. So what we do is we agree on a minimum guarantee. Let's say, okay, if your game is doing well, we will pay you this, even if there's no profit, no cash profit yet. And then, like when the game starts making actual profit, we compensate that. Card games would fit into those categories. I'd say yes, but that's like there's like a lot of different things that can be called card games. So things like solitaire or things that are like actual card games in mobile, we're not that excited. Collectible card games are very hard to distribute, especially if you don't have an IP. So like Pokemon Pockets or Magic the Gathering, Hearthstone, those kind of things we're usually not that excited about because it's very hard to make, very hard to distribute. But things like Balatro, yes, like fun twists on card games, yes. Things like Clash Royale that has like a card economy, but it's actually a gameplay is not really card based, yes. So yeah, the answer is depends exactly what the card game is. Could you tell us a bit about the key metrics that you look when you are creating a game? Of course. So the way that we think about it is the game. In the end of the day, like we love what we do. We love playing games. We love making games, but we are a business. So at the end of the day, it's about making something that can be profitable. And being profitable means the user will give you more revenue than you are spending marketing to get that user. So LTV minus CAC, cost of acquisition. And another way of looking at this is return on advertising spend, like the percentage of money that you get back from what you spend should be higher than 100%. Those are things that are very hard to know in the beginning of development. So we try to look into for things that are a good proxy or a good sign that that game can be profitable. The main one is retention. Like if you make a game, put it out there, people download it, and 1 day later, no one plays your game again, that's probably a bad game. Like you didn't make an engaging game. And we try to look for games that have the day one retention. So the number of people that get back after downloading the game on the next day at above 40%, and day 7 about 20%, and day 30 about 10%. So 10% of your users keep playing the game after 1 month. That's a good sign. And usually, like what we do in the development cycle is, okay, we start making a very good experience for the first day, then the first few days, then the first week, and then we keep expanding because it doesn't make sense to have a game that gets very fun after 12 months if you don't get people to play the first few days. And the other metric that we look into is the marketing side. So the CPI, cost per install, how expensive it is to get players to play your game by showing ads. And this is part of this is the game itself, like the gameplay, but part of this is the theme as well. So medieval games are very hard to distribute because there are lots of medieval themed games out there. While, for example, football games are very easy to distribute in the year of the World Cup because people are thinking about soccer and are googling soccer, so it gets easier to distribute. Those are like two random examples, but just say that it's important to consider how easy it will be to market your game. Do you help a team to find missing skill area, like 3D artist or sound composer, or like helping with localization, getting language translator? Yes, of course. So depends on like what we are doing with the team. But if we are publishing a game, we will always use our network to help the team. So if they say that, oh, we need to improve our soundtrack, or if we play in the games, realize that, oh, your soundtrack could be a lot better, we will recommend people either from WildLife and say, oh, this person can work in your game if you want for a while, or help you connect you with our network of freelancers and outsourcers, and basically like our talent network from working with many teams in the past years. I just finished my game with AdWords, localization, etc. How can I get feedback before releasing it on the Play Store? I'd really appreciate a detailed opinion of WildLife. The easiest way would, if it's an Android, just send me the APK. Add me here on Discord later and send me the APK file. I will download it and play. Or you can use the internal testing feature of Google Play. It's a bit harder. I don't like using it, to be honest. But basically, you put the emails of people that you want to test your game there, and I will get access through the Play Store. But APK is usually more straightforward. If anyone here has a game outside Game Jam Plus, is that a way of sending it to WildLife? Do you have a formal process for that? The process is not very formal. It's just you send me an email. My email is Luiz. I'll put it in the chat here. But you just send me an email with the game. .com. I promise that I will look into all the games that you send and that I will give you a response, even if it's no. It can take a while. Sometimes it takes me, like I receive a lot of games, so sometimes it takes me 1 week, 2 weeks to get back to you. But I have this commitment. I will always play all the games that you send me. Read like if you have a slide deck or if you have like description of metrics that you have, I will read everything with attention and send you a feedback later. This is completely unrelated from Game Jam Plus. If we like your game that you didn't sign into Game Jam Plus, this doesn't help you in the competition, and vice versa. So don't worry. I feel like I'm going too fast. If anyone is not understanding what I say, my English is not perfect. Let me know. I can go back and answer again on something. Oh, also feel free to add me on LinkedIn. I usually post there and talk about stuff, and say like I announce there when we have new things and that we're looking for, or when we're going to do any event for new teams. Yeah, that's the link. Thanks, Julia. Also, feel free to disagree with me. Sometimes I post some controversial things there, and I don't think I'm always right. I am open to changing my mind. WildLife is looking exclusively for mobile games. Yes, we tried distributing games on Steam before, and being very honest, we didn't do that very well. It's a very different thing. Uh, if you have like something on for PC or console that you think is very, very good, feel free to send it to me as well. I can try to put you in contact with the publishers that I know of console and PC games. But WildLife is only interested in mobile free-to-play games. Porting is not currently an option. I mean, you say that like you have a game on console that you want to port to mobile. I'm waiting for the response of I am Paulo. I will answer Mugiru. We are currently developing a game for PC in this game gen. Is there any chance for us if you want to join? I think this is more with Julia actually than with us, but I think if you can make it run on mobile, it's still possible. Julia, can you confirm?
They can participate. They only
Awesome.
need to do the mobile version of the game.
Yeah. So that's it. If you got excited about what we are doing here and what we're saying, just make the mobile version of the game and and put it like into the Game Engine Plus mobile category, wildlife category. If you're using Unity or Flutter, it's very easy. If you're using Unreal or a custom engine, it can be a bit harder, but depending on the game, it's not that hard. Um, and both I have a desktop version that can be ported to mobile and vice versa. I think maybe it's easier if we discuss this afterwards. Feel free to send me either an email or a message on LinkedIn, and I can get you the details to understand. But like overall, we are looking for games that can be distributed in mobile. Is WildLife looking for games specifically that has microtransactions at Game Jam Plus? Yes, for this category, it has to have in-app purchases. This can be microtransactions. This can be unlocking content. This can be subscription to VIP service at the game, but has to be free to download. And then the user can have the option of buying things with in-app purchases. As a company, we also look into ads-based game, but here for Game Jam Plus, what we agreed on the category is that it couldn't be only ads; it needed to have in-app purchases as well. Okay, I don't know if you guys are thinking about more questions or if I answered everything that you guys needed so far. I think someone else is typing. Are you more oriented to mobile games more than PC? Yes, we, WildLife as a company, is 100% mobile games. We don't look into PC. As a player, I play both. I play Switch, I play VR, I play everything. But as a company, WildLife only works with mobile games. Do you also publish Godot games? Oh, sorry, I skipped one. Is there no chance for WildLife to publish PC games at all? No, that's not something that we are looking for. We tried in the past. It's very different. Like PC, either Steam or other platforms that are for PC. It's a very different thing from App Store and Play Store, and that's not what we have expertise on. So it's not what we want to focus. Um, do you also publish Godot games or Unit only? We do publish Godot games. We don't have any published right now, but the engine is not a blocker. We had prototypes in Godot before. I like it, honestly. I think Godot is very cool to work with. But most of our games are Unity. We have some games that are in Flutter. We have, I think, 2 games that are in Cocos. Yeah. Oh, and we have some games that are native as well. So yeah, use whatever you think is best. Don't worry about the engine. We like Unity, but we are open to everything. Setting decides to start developing a game. What's the average duration they have to get the game ready for release? It depends a lot on what we are like how we are working with the team. If we are incubating the team, and that usually involves us paying some type of compensation for the team to help them focus on this, then we usually agree upon a roadmap beforehand. So before signing any deal, we agree on what's the usual, what's the timing that makes sense for you to get a game ready for release. We try to look for shorter timelines. So something like 3 months to have the first version, 6 months to have a global launch version. What this means is that okay, if your game is more complex, if you can't do this in a short time frame, then it makes more sense for you to talk to us a bit more down the road. So it's very common for us to talk to someone and say, "Oh, your game idea looks very cool, but it looks like that's a bit far out yet. So keep working on it, and let's talk again in a few months when the game's closer to being testable. If the game looks interesting but doesn't fit exactly what WildLife's looking for, would you still consider the game suggest changes, or it would just be dismissed? We would still consider the game. We can say, oh, this game look. We can change our rules as well. It's not like that the rules are written in stone. Most of the rules are made by me, so I can then just change them and say, oh, this game is so good that we will publish it anyway. But usually, what we do is we suggest changes, and we say, oh, these are the things that we would like to see for this game to be a good fit for us. And most of the time, like we don't like to say no. We like to say not no, not now. Like the game doesn't look perfect right now, but it can improve. You can do things differently. So you can like talk to us again about the same game um, after you make changes. It's not like you close the door when we say no. And also, like many studios, we say no to a game, but we like the studio, and we ask them like to keep pitching ideas to us in the future. And sometimes the second, third, fourth idea is the one that we say, "Oh, this one is good. Let's work on this together." Yeah, good reminder from Julian. You still have one more submission opportunity, so don't worry if you haven't registered yet. You can still do it. Yeah, either add my email to the tester list or send me the bundle, the APK file, to my email directly, and I will download it and play. And don't worry about asking again. I'm not a native English speaker. My English is not perfect. Most of us are not. English is just the easiest way for us to communicate with a large group. So not everyone will speak perfect English. Don't worry. So, Paulo, for the category, you'd have to have AP implemented to be considered. So, like to get the $1,000 cash prize, the 5,000 marketing budget, that has to have IEP. But for WildLife process, like outside the Game Jam Plus, you don't have to have IEP implemented for us to discuss the game. Just send it, and we can discuss and think about whether the game needs IEP. Sometimes we will say, "Oh no, this game makes sense with just ads." But most of the time, it makes sense at least to put a no ads option for like $1 or something. So and then we can discuss like with you what we think it would make sense for you to implement, and even help you implement that if you need it. So I think most of the questions have been answered. Maybe we can give like 5 more minutes for anyone to put in final question. But I'm going to stay available either through email or LinkedIn. Discord, I'm very bad with Discord, so it's easier for me if you add me on LinkedIn or if you send me an email to remember to see it and reply. Yeah, I was saying exactly that without a coincidence. So, Luna,
Yeah,
please
sure.
send an email. I'm very bad with Discord. I might miss your DM or I might take many days to reply. So send an email to me, and depending on like your area or what you want to do, if it's publishing your game, it's me. If you like to look into openings to work as a game developer, an artist, game designer, I will make the introduction to the proper team that would evaluate you. Do you have any publisher that thinks you like to publish in PC? So I have a good relationship with a publisher called Qbyte. That's from Brazil. For this type of game, I would have to think the main publishers that come to my head for indie are Devolver and I always say the name wrong, Annapurna, something like this. Sorry if I'm butchered the name. And I think that Julia and the folks at Game Jam Plus might have a few contacts as well. Yeah, so right over. Let me get the correct name of the other one. Anna- Annapurna. Those three are the ones that's like on top of my head. I think right now that work with indie studios, but there are like a lot. You can find them. You if you go to Reddit or to game developer channels in Discord, you can ask for tips there. And many people have worked with publishers for PC and can point you in the right direction.
Young talk about join. We sent to all the jammers an email about the join, the Innova Summit, and other events that we will make in May. This is a great opportunity to talk with publishers. It's a Indie Hero program.
Nice.
I think he's typing more about it. Join has a business round with a meet to meet too. Yes. And you can talk with investors, publishers, present your pitch.
And if anyone is going to GDC, I'm gonna be there. We can maybe meet for coffee or just like see each other in person. And I think like going to events is usually a good way of meeting publishers. So it's very hard to go to the biggest events, especially if you are far away. But try to see what events will happen this year in your country, and if you make it to at least one and like get to know some people in the industry or some other indie devs or some accelerators, some publishers, it's usually very good to have those contacts. Even though the world is very digital today, meeting people in person is still a thing that still helps a lot. Is WildLife going to be at Gamescom Latam? Very likely, yes. We haven't decided yet exactly how, but we always go in some capacity. I'm not sure if I'm going to go there representing WildLife. I hope so. I like Gamescom, but someone from WildLife will be there. Yes. To be very honest, I think Gamescom is more fun than GDC. GDC is too business focused and too fast. I think Gamescom has a better environment, so I think I prefer to go to Gamescom as a person. As WildLife, GDC is still more relevant, so I have to go. I hope so. Yeah, send me a message before going there, and we can arrange like either to meet in the event or have some coffee or something nearby. I'm in São Paulo, and so if anyone's coming to São Paulo as well for any event or it's living in São Paulo, also feel free to message me.